All right, from the last video, I showed you how to display this little truck. We're going to continue on, and I'm going to show you how to save this little truck now. And if we hit enter, it'll draw a border around it. So this is a way of distinguishing this is our new image. And we're saving it now. We're going to switch resolutions to screen 9 and load it back in. You'll notice it's smaller now. So let me just go over the code. I'm going to switch, this is the Qbasic editor. I'm going to switch to Visual Studio Code because it looks nicer. I've made the fonts a little bigger and it's syntax highlighting, so it looks a little better. So this is the image array that we use to store the truck. It's hard-coded here. I know it's this size, and we specified the file name. This is where it's located, uh, the image array, and uh, the amount of elements to read. This is in integers, so it's over 500 bytes basically, 516. And once we read it into the array, we display with the put command, and then we wait for some input, draw the box over it, wait for some input, calculate the new size, create a new array based on the new size, grab the image from the screen, save it, and we use this routine here to save it to a file. This is the file right here. And we wait for some input, change to screen 9, change the color of the background color, move our cursor, load, and we call the read input read put image file, and that'll load the file we just saved up here. And then we display it on the screen and wait for some input. So how does this do it? So let's take a look at this routine right here, and this is located all the way at the end here. So it's basically the reverse of what we've done with the read option. And we're taking the image buffer and we're basically writing each element to disk. So it's converting it slightly to a different format, but basically it takes every element and writes it to disk. So this works fine for most images. As you get into bigger images, it slows down. And one other thing I'd like to point out is the image buffer size. I basically grabbed this off the QB64 site. I've enhanced it a little by specifying the coordinates and calculating the width based on those, but it's basically the same code. It saved me some time. I didn't have to figure this out on my own. So thank you, QB64. And I've also added another useful routine, or some might find useful, and it's save put image as data. So what this does is use the same image buffer that we just grabbed from the screen, and it creates data statements just like my program does when you export. You can do this with your own programs. So let me just show you. Here's the code that it actually creates. So let's just run this and create some new code. So instead of saving it, we grab it. Okay. So I'm going to comment all this stuff out. And let's change the name to call it screen 2. And let's just run it. All right. If I go back to Visual Studio Code and open our file, we saved it in this folder here. And there's that screen 2, 708, 708. So we just created that. Let's load that in. So here we go. So it just created all these data statements. You can read all these into an array. So here's the array size. It would be 716 elements. And it basically allows you to use this code in your own programs. If you want some graphic image that you want to convert to data statements, this does it for you. So it works exactly the same way as my program. Let me just bring that up. So the same function I have here in the export, when you select QB64, Qbasic, QuickBasic QB64, and you select the put data statements, it does exactly what my program does. So I think that's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.